Hey everybody, this is Joe Kane of Joe Rocks Coronado, and tonight I'm going to try a little plein air style painting. It's going to be a Coronado sunset, and I'm going to do things a little bit experimentally because I have an ultimate plan for this painting once it's done. So I've got here just a raw I think it's 14 by 11 canvas, just plain white. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first coat it with some titanium white. And this is oil paint, but I'm gonna paint using acrylics. So I've got a whole bunch of, basic acrylic paints here that you can get at your art store or your hobby store or whatever. I use them a lot for painting rocks, and so I have a ton of those colors. I have some oils, but I have a better selection in acrylic. So I thought to give it a little more flow, I would put down the oil paint white first and see if that works, so I can at least manipulate the paint for a little bit longer without it drying too much. So I don't know if this works. I've never tried it. I don't know if people have tried this. If you have some experience with it though, leave me a note, leave me a comment. I'd be happy to see what your experience was with it. And I'm going to try to do this, like I said, plein air, so hopefully I'll complete this all within maybe an hour. I don't know, depending on how quick I go. This is not, in my head anyway, a difficult painting, but it's after photographing the Coronado sunsets here for the last several years, I think I have a pretty good idea of what I want it to look like. So it's going to be a simple skyline with the sun near the water. You can see the ocean, and then maybe some beach in the front. So that's what I'm going to attempt, and then we'll see about moving on to the next phase, which is another experimental phase, possibly using puffy paint. So stay tuned. So as I'm looking at this, it's kind of interesting doing this experiment where I use the titanium white oil paint and then combining acrylic paints on top of it, because there are some areas where it looks like the paint maybe isn't mixing. Well, it isn't mixing. And so I'm curious how this is gonna do once it starts to dry. And I have no idea, I've never tried this before. I like the way the colors blended. And I like actually that there's some sort of a pooling, or whatever you want to call it, I guess, of the oil on top, or the water on top of the oil. Maybe that's what I'm looking at. I can't tell for sure if it's the oil on top or the water on top, but it looks to me like the water colors, the acrylic colors, are kind of pooling a little bit on top of the oil base that I put, and same down here where I've got the thicker paint. But I'm hoping that that's going to end up being a good effect. Now, I'm going to have to leave this to dry, obviously, and I don't know how many days that's going to take, but we'll see, and then we'll make a judgment after that. If you've ever tried an experiment like this, let me know, though. I find it pretty interesting. And then stay tuned, because next I'm going to do some puffy painting, and we'll see how that goes, combining that with what I already have here. So I hope you enjoyed this video of watching me paint. The time is now 9:16. I started right around 8:30ish, so it's about 45 minutes. And I'm happy with the overall look, and we'll see how the effect is, or how the ultimate conclusion is after it dries for a little while. Thanks for tuning in.